Why does making friends as an adult feel so
What
hard?
should I wear on a first
What the
date?
hell is a four?
But that
Why
hookup
is
was
buying my
not
first
good.
home so
What do I want my
frustrating?
life to look like in 5 years?
We want to know too.
Since 2012, the Everygirl has been an online destination to help women around the world achieve the life of their dreams. Now, we're excited to bring you the same inspiring content with the Everygirl podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast, my girls. It is like the weirdest freaking week ever because half of my brain space is taken up by World War III going on right now, and half of my brain space is taken up by Love Island. Like there's no in between. Also, Tuesday's episode, crazy shit. You guys, the ending, I don't want to ruin it if anyone's behind, so I won't spoil it, but holy shit. I don't know what to do with myself, but I am relieved. I was ready to scream at the television before the last 30 seconds of that episode. So, Love Island producers, I hope you redeem yourself with today's episode. We will see. I'm on the edge of my seat though. Guys, I hope I'm not on the wrong side of history, but like justice for Jeremiah. I miss him. Bring him back. He deserved better. And I never stand a man, but I loved him. I miss him. But anyway, crazy week, a lot going on, but I am so happy to be here with you, getting to chit chat, just us girls. Today is the last episode of June. Excuse me. I feel like we are just like pre-summer still. The summer's going to fly by before we know it. So we are doing our monthly reset today, where we recap the last month and go through what I think are some of the most powerful takeaways from all of the episodes, and then talk about how you can actually apply them so you can begin intentionally creating action from all of the amazing things we've talked about and learned from our guests in June, because that's how you change your life, is not just by consuming great content, but by applying what you learn to your life. So I want to help you do that. And then we'll set some intentions for July. I don't know, you guys, these recaps are getting hard because there are so many highlights from each month that I'm having a harder and harder time narrowing down. Maybe next month I'll need to poll you for your favorite takeaways so you can help me out because it's hard. The intention we had set for June was empowered. Being empowered is the state of owning your life, even if everything else around you is chaotic, even if your circumstances suck right now, even if you don't know the next step. Empowered in that we get to give ourselves permission to pursue the life that we want. No one does that for us. How kind of appropriate did that turn out to be this month? I think that intention was extremely fitting for Pride Month, of course. Also, for all the shit that transpired in the news, I hope you felt ownership and autonomy and didn't abandon yourself to please anyone else around whatever was happening in your life. I'll be honest with you, a big aha moment I had this past month when thinking really hard about this word empowerment and applying that to my life, trying to show up more empowered, is I I kind of realized I want to show up more flawed, I suppose. Like, I love, love, love what I get to do. I love to share these podcasts with you. I love posting on social media and connecting with you guys. But I think I've always felt, or put on myself, I should say, a lot of pressure, even subconsciously. I really don't want to waste your time. I really want to give you the best of the best of the best. I really don't want to add to noise or overwhelm. So I try really hard in every single thing that I post or that I record. And I think in that belief, I have a little bit of perfectionism that is probably causing me more stress than I need. And probably holding me back. Like, I've really learned that one area of my life I really don't feel empowered is I don't feel confident being seen really authentically, like who I am, which sounds really cheesy. But I not only do I not want to waste your time, I don't want to add to the noise. And I have kind of that expectation for myself, for you, but I also want to be liked. I really do. I think I am subconsciously really afraid of judgment. Like, I am petrified of even one of you listening to this episode and being like, this was a waste of my time to listen to, which is crazy. Like, I would be telling you, of course, it's impossible to please anyone, and being honest and open and imperfect attracts the right people to you. Like, I know this advice. I would be telling you guys this. It's just like this subconscious, ingrained belief that I've been really extra aware of this past month when trying to identify where I am not empowered in my life yet. So I think I historically, I don't know, maybe a little bit like water down my beliefs or what I post, or I do so much preparation for every single episode instead of just like speaking in the moment, if that makes sense. So I want to feel empowered in showing up exactly as I am, imperfect, maybe having bad days where I'm not super inspirational. I want to show up a little bit more as I am because I feel like that would not only feel more empowering for me, but that hopefully would be more empowering for you guys to be able to show up as yourself as well, as having bad days, as being flawed and imperfect and saying like 1,000 times because I try really hard to edit out likes as much as I can because I say likes, but, um and again, I normally would edit out that, because I don't want you to be bored listening to this. I want to, like, pack every possible second, and so obviously I want to continue doing that, but I also think with that, there's a little bit of that, like, perfectionism and not wanting to feel judged. So, I'm going to try my best to feel more empowered in this. That is my goal that I wanna share with you guys, and hopefully that might inspire you or make you think about where you're not showing up authentically because you are maybe feeling perfectionism, maybe you have the fear of not being liked, and you might not being showing up as yourself, and that is lack of empowerment. That is lack of autonomy. I want to stop giving a shit about being liked because I would feel so much more empowered. So that's kind of like my reflection from this month. I am super curious if you guys had any reflections or aha moments thinking about this month of empowerment and what that means to you. The episode with Julia Hart was a big aha moment for me. I feel like this was the perfect conversation to kick off our month of empowerment. Julia has one of the most inspiring stories I truly have ever heard. Ever since I first heard it years ago when I watched My Unorthodox Life, which is such a good show. I cannot sing its praises enough. I was so inspired by her story and reading her book. I fell in love with her ability to transform her own life, and especially having this conversation, I was really in awe of her and really inspired. Julia grew up in an ultra Orthodox Jewish community, and you just have to read her book to really understand the full scope of how programmed she was to feel like her authentic self was evil and that her job was to serve men. She gives some really great stories that showcases this in the episode too. She didn't leave the community until she was over 40 years old. So she literally had to start from scratch at age 45. And she worked so hard to get rid of those super ingrained beliefs. And not only did she just get rid of them to be able to live outside the community, but she is thriving. She's fucking crushing. Like, it's funny, when I was planning my conversation for her, I really wanted to ask her tips for success, like how she became so successful and launched her own businesses and became the creative director of La Perla. But the conversation really turned into rewriting limiting beliefs and learning your own self autonomy. And I realized that that is her secret to success. So, Julia is really a master teacher in rewriting beliefs that are holding you back and choosing your own reality, stepping into your full autonomy. A really big theme for her is freedom. And I think it's interesting, like, no matter how you grew up, most of us obviously did not grow up literally trapped in an ultra Orthodox community, but none of us are free until we realize our full autonomy. Like, if we don't feel fully in control of our lives, we will always feel like a victim in our stories. We'll always feel like, well, I can't get the job I want because I'm not good enough, or I can't be in a great relationship because that kind of happiness doesn't exist, or that level of success is unrealistic, or I don't feel good enough about myself because there are so many people who are prettier or richer or more successful. Or we are also still being controlled by other people when we think we have to dress a certain way or act a certain way or are supposed to work toward a certain goal or job or be in a relationship with a certain kind of person because that's what other people tell us we're supposed to do. That's not free. When you believe you do not hold complete control over the circumstances in your life, when you are making decisions based on the opinions of other people instead of the inner knowing from yourself, this isn't free. So, what I really wanted you to take from this episode is that you deserve to step into your role as the sole creator of your life, the only creator of your life. I think a really big piece of being empowered and autonomy, that's a new word for me too. Not literally, like I was familiar with that word in eighth grade vocabulary, but just in terms of like what it means to me and prioritizing autonomy and valuing autonomy. What it really means is to start living from your own intuition, beliefs, desires, even in the little ways that you can start practicing this week today. So, for example, wear what you really want to wear. Something that Julia says in her book that I love is that the word appropriate has been used her whole life to tell her she was wrong. Like if she wanted to have conversations with men at the dinner table instead of sit there silently, it was always called inappropriate. Julia, you're being inappropriate. Trying to dress up her very still conservative outfits by adding a little bit of style to them was always told she was being inappropriate, even though she was still covered head to toe. Like literally, she had to wear a wig so men wouldn't even be exposed to her natural hair. God forbid a man sees a strand of your actual hair and gets turned on by you, and you are the temptress devil. So she was always being told what you're wearing is inappropriate, how you're acting is inappropriate. So when she left the community and after working through a lot of the fear about uncovering and also wearing heels, which she shares some really great stories about in the episode, she started loving wearing mini skirts and short tight dresses and super high heels. Like she felt so empowered in those type of clothing and becoming a super successful business person. People would tell her, "Julia, no one's going to take you seriously. You should wear pantsuits and dress conservatively. What you're wearing is not appropriate to wear to a business meeting." And she said to that, I've been told my whole life that what I wear is not appropriate because my clothing is responsible for how other people see me. So now she's like, if men don't take me serious in a miniskirt and stilettos during our business meeting, that's their problem, not mine. That word inappropriate is another way to oppress us, especially as women. So I loved this idea of saying fuck you to being appropriate or being told what we should wear. It's a really powerful reminder of how our wardrobes, our clothes, how we choose to present ourselves is really a way we communicate with the world, but also a way we communicate with ourselves. It's a really simple tool to step into our own authenticity. So this week, I want you to check in with yourself. What do you really want to wear? Maybe you feel pressure to dress up when you go out with your friends because everyone likes to get cute and stylish and take pictures, but really all you want to wear is just something so comfy and simple and just like relax. Lean into that. Maybe you feel the most like yourself in bright colors and fun patterns, but you feel like you have to mute yourself down when you go into the office. Can you try to wear a bright colored blazer that feels more like you, or even maybe a bright pair of shoes? And just a little bit, in any way you possibly can, make a decision with your outfits that feels authentic to you. So, your clothing is like a great way to practice authenticity and autonomy. But in addition to that, speak your truth. Like, say your opinion, say what you're thinking out loud. If you listen to this podcast regularly, you might have heard me say that one of my goals is to share my insides outside. Another place this empowerment focus really showed up was in episode 188, How to Feel Confident in Your Body Once and for All. I think the way we feel about our bodies or worry about the way we look is a huge place of disempowerment for women, especially. Skinny talk, fat phobia, obsession over how we look, like feeling less worthy depending on our pant size or a breakout on our face is disempowerment. It's disempowering for everyone, regardless of how you look, because if you are closer to that ideal size, you still live in fear of gaining weight or not looking perfect. You're constantly performing for approval. And if you're not what we're taught is that ideal size, you feel like you have to earn your way into worthiness by shrinking yourself. This like need for weight loss, it is just a belief we have to shrink ourselves. This harms everybody because it reinforces a system where our value is conditional, where joy, confidence, even basic self respect is something that we believe we have to work for or earn through, something as meaningless as our appearance. That episode that I did is honestly not about body positivity. It's about freedom. This belief that how worthy we are is dependent on the way that we look to other people is oppression in a different uniform. It is preventing us from being fully happy and healthy and successful. So here's what I want you to do this week, especially as 4th of July is coming up, which means it's bathing suit season. Maybe you're going on more vacations, having more pool days, more possibility for body image issues or worrying about the way that you look. Here's your homework, and I want you to take this very seriously, okay? I want you to break the contract, the one that you didn't sign but subconsciously agreed to. The contract that says, I'll only love myself when I lose 10 pounds, or I'll wear the I'll wear the bikini when I have a flat stomach, or I will go after what I want or get in a relationship when I feel prettier. Rip that fucking contract up. Instead, I want you to write a new contract, one that sounds like I will stop waiting to feel beautiful before I let myself be bold. Or I'm not here to be looked at, I'm here to live. Or my personal favorite that I tell myself, my experience matters so much more than how other people experience me. And then I also want you to get into the habit of feeling the insecurity and doing it anyway. We are so used to experiencing our insecurities as stoplights. Like we see someone really cute at the bar, but then we're like, "Ugh, but I don't really look very good tonight, so I won't go approach them." Maybe you've canceled plans to go to the beach or the pool. Maybe you don't take a photo because you don't like the way that you look. But confidence isn't the absence of insecurity, it's the willingness to keep showing up with it. And yes, I really did write that myself. It really feels like, wait, what's the part in A Cinderella Story? Ugh, I totally forget the quote. Her dad said it, and then the guitar rips the wallpaper away and she sees the quote, and like that's what inspires her to leave the evil stepmother. I feel like that quote could have earned the spot on the wall of the diner, and Sam would have been really inspired. But we think we need to feel 100% good in our bodies to wear the bikini, to take the photo, to say yes to the date. But you don't. You just need to be brave enough to feel uncomfortable and do it anyway. What I love to do in these moments of self doubt or insecurity is say to myself, so what? My stomach has all these fat rolls hanging out of my bathing suit. So what? My makeup looks so bad today. So what? I have a breakout. So what? Nobody gives a fuck about the way that you look. When have you noticed or cared when a friend or someone you were dating were size 6 instead of size 4? When has it ever mattered? When have you looked at a coworker and noticed a breakout and thought, yikes, that's embarrassing? Like, we don't notice or care about these little things about other people, and other people don't notice or care about these little things with us. Okay, you feel insecure about the way that you look. So what? Insecurity is not a stop sign, it's just a feeling, and feelings are not facts. So the next time you want to skip the thing, skip the pool, the date, the selfie, skip your life, don't. Remind yourself that an insecurity should be a green light, because going to the pool, feeling insecure about your body, realizing that it was okay, no one else really cared, and then having fun is the only way you get rid of the insecurity. Katie Austin, episode 190, was another super empowering conversation. I loved what she said about this topic of confidence. She talked about how she grew up feeling really insecure, really hating the way she looks, feeling like the ugly duckling compared to her friends. Cut to now. If you know Katie, she is walking the Sports Illustrated runway in a small bikini. She is posting her body as her job. Like she just exudes confident energy and empowerment. And she had so many great takeaways to share in this conversation. Learning to exercise to love her body was a big catalyst for her confidence, but also the reminder that we have one life. Why not go for what you want? Why not be your most confident self? Why not show up to the workout or the pool day or the date? Like this conversation really inspired me, and I hope really inspired you to make the most of this one life. Empowerment in that we get to choose the way we show up to the world. So, something we can take away from this is to ask yourself constantly, why not me? The next time you doubt yourself before a date, a job interview, a bad body image day, ask yourself, why not me? And then act like the version of you who believes that, because why not you? I promise you, there are millions of examples of people with less skills or experience or who are less deserving or have less to offer that have everything that you want. Why not you? Another reason Katie credited to her confidence and empowerment was something I also touched on in Tuesday's episode, and that is having a strong purpose. In episode 192, I talked about how the healthiest women in the world have a very clear purpose. And not only do they have a purpose, but they build their entire daily routine, everything they do around this purpose. And Katie also said this when I asked her the question of how she became more confident. She said that how she found confidence was really having a clear purpose. So there is definitely something to this. I think having a clear purpose helps with confidence and empowerment because almost in this counterintuitive way, because it's like, then it almost becomes bigger than us. Like it's not about us anymore. I certainly became more confident in the podcast when I focused on my purpose of helping women because then it was no longer really about me. It was about you. But also, it's like when you know deep in your heart that you are going to accomplish that thing or have that life because it's your purpose, it's your reason for being, it's your calling, you become so much more sure of yourself. And science shows that belief in yourself is a bigger indicator of success than talent or intelligence. So, whether you want to be more confident and empowered or you want to be healthier, finding your purpose and building everything you do around your purpose is so key. In all of the research I've done for years, what I have found is the single most effective health tip is having purpose and waking up with purpose every day, literally shaping your everyday routine around your purpose. Your purpose could be to enjoy or take care of your loved ones or to save animals, or maybe your art is your purpose. But if you don't already know, spend some time to find out what your purpose is. Ask yourself, what keeps bothering me that I can't stop thinking about? What breaks your heart the most? It might be a broken system, maybe a really sad story that stays with you, or a version of you that you know exists but you haven't become yet. Is there an injustice, a wound, or life experience that you feel called to change? Is there something that you've healed from or are healing from that you can help others through? These are all breadcrumbs to your purpose. Your purpose isn't usually about what you like. It's a lot of times what energizes you, like what makes you lose track of time, what leaves you energized and inspired instead of drained. Also, look at your talents. What are you good at that makes someone else's life better, that could make your life better? And then once you have an idea of your purpose, your reason for being, your greatest motivator, choose one small thing that you already do every day, your morning coffee, your workout, your commute, and infuse it with your purpose. So, for example, if your purpose is to heal your body, how can you make your morning routine more restorative? If your purpose is to be really connected to the people that you love, maybe you spend your commutes calling your friends and your mom and your sister and the people that you love and want to connect with. If your purpose is to empower, can you listen to a podcast that fuels your fire during your commute? You know those products that you love so much they become your entire personality? That's me with Osea's Undaria Algae Body Oil. Every time I use it, someone asks me what perfume I'm wearing. The scent is giving summer in a bottle, and I slather it on after showers, before bed, or before going out just for the glow because it makes my skin feel so sculpted and soft without ever being greasy. This body oil is clinically proven to improve skin elasticity and visibly firms, making skin feel more sculpted and toned. And I love that it's vegan and clean, so you don't have to choose between your health and your glow up. So if you are in your hot girl summer era, this is an essential for your routine. Get healthy, glowing skin for summer with clean, vegan face and body care from Osea. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code TheEverygirl at oseamalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $60. That's oseamalibu.com, code TheEverygirl for 10% off. So those were some of my biggest takeaways. Obviously, there were so many more. It was so hard to narrow down and decide what to talk about today. I honestly just want to go back and listen to all of the episodes because there were such great takeaways from all of them. But I want to hear from you guys what your favorite takeaways were. Now, looking ahead to July, I have one word for you: pleasure. I want this month's sole focus to be to have more fun. Not just the Instagram worthy kind of fun, like you're doing a lot of social plans and going out and posting pics. I mean, the real soul filling joy. I want you to get used to belly laughing and smiling so much your cheeks hurt. I want you to play and laugh like you used to do as a kid. I want you to order dessert just because. Listen to your favorite song on repeat and dance so hard in your kitchen on a random Tuesday morning that you spill your iced coffee. This month is not about discipline or hustle or even healing. It's about joy. It's about choosing the more pleasurable option whenever possible. Can your meals taste more pleasurable by adding more flavors? Can your routine be infused with softness and pleasure on a daily basis? Here are some examples of how to live this intention this month. Tailor your movement to pleasure. Dance in your living room, join a hip hop class, do underwater handstands at the pool like when you're 10 years old. Did anyone else have underwater tea parties? Can we bring that back? Can we take a break here and there from gym sessions and instead walk to the park with our friends and do handstands in the grass or sign up for a really fun dance class instead? Another way is just to romanticize your everyday. Light candles for dinner, even if you're eating alone. Wear your good perfume in the morning. Buy yourself flowers for no reason. Play your favorite music while you're cleaning your home. Turn your skincare routine into a mini spa night. Sip on some herbal iced tea from a wine glass just because it feels fancy, and why not? Romanticizing is such a great way to infuse pleasure and joy and fun into your life. And a little teaser, I have a great episode coming in the next couple weeks for you that will help you in that area. And then I also want you to schedule joy like it's a meeting. I want you to plan beach picnics, museum dates, solo movie nights, spontaneous road trips, everything that you want to do every summer and say you're going to do, but never actually get to. Schedule it right now. Make the plans, put it in your calendar, schedule joy, and then show up for it like it's an important meeting because it is. Let July be the month where you stop waiting for special occasions. Prioritize fun over discipline or hustle, and I promise your life will be better off for it. You are allowed, no, you are supposed to enjoy your life fully, deeply, and without guilt. That is what we're tapping into this month. Let me know in the comments on YouTube or Spotify or in Apple reviews how you like this format. I will continue doing them as long as you like them. I also really want to hear from you. How are you going to tap into pleasure this month? What do you think of this month's theme? Let me know in the Spotify and YouTube comments or Apple reviews to lock in your intention for July. Have a very fun weekend, and I will talk to you on Tuesday. Happy July. I hope you enjoyed enjoyed the episode, I know I sure did, please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It really makes a huge difference for our show so we can keep growing and bringing the content that you love. If you want more info, you can find us at the Everygirl Podcast on Instagram or theeverygirlpodcast.com. Talk to you next week.